Match in our series, and it pits Ron Powell, a former winner of this tournament in 1982, in against Queensland's Tom Kury, the top Australian male bowler in the last 15 months. Should be a good match. Bob Cook, what do you think?
Yes, I'd hate to try and pick this one, Steve. Kury's had an excellent year. 208 average in tournaments and 215 in league.
That's a marvellous average. But he's in against Ron Powell, this man here. And Powell won't give this one away too easily.
No, Ron proves he doesn't make too many mistakes. In the previous match to get here, never missed a frame.
And let's have a look at the nuggety competitor from Gympie in Queensland, a bowling centre proprietor at Gympie, Tom Kury.
Very compact approach.
And look at this ball. What a reaction. Let's have a look at it. Ball goes in light, and there goes the 10-pin. Bye-bye 10-pin.
That's the reason Tom's having such a good year. Great pin action.
It's not a bad magazine either. Well, there's a spare for Ron Powell in the first frame, and arguably these two bowlers, the Victorian and the Queensland state champions, the best of the 140,000 people who bowl weekly league matches in Australia. That's how much the game's grown in the last couple of years. More than 30 new bowling centres have been built in the last couple of years to cater for the people who want to play the game. And here's Ron Powell's opponent, firing on all cylinders. He averaged 200 in the qualifying tournament here at Woden Bowl to get this top-seeded position, and he thoroughly deserves it.
Interesting contrast in styles. Ron Powell's balance is exceptional. And that's an exceptional result.
Yes, that's a nice one for Ron Powell. He knows that Tom Kury is the hardest man in Australia to beat in tournaments at the moment. And Kury, a former P&O Cruise winner in a Queensland tournament at the Redcliffe Centre. And he's thinking about that right now. It's a 13-night cruise on board their Canberra ship, visiting a few countries, and Tom would love to win it.
I think he'll be thinking about a strike right now, Steve. A bit light, kicked the pins, but not enough.
Well, that 8 count after 2 strikes in a row for Tom Kury gives him an 8-pin lead after the first frame, 28, and Ron Powell 20. Powell can get back into it now with a strike in the third.
He was having trouble on this lane in the semi-final match. Let's see if he can make an adjustment and get that ball right into the 1-3 pocket. No.
Oh, that's a tough one too. The nemesis of many good bowlers in pressure situations, the baby split, but we're back with Kury, who also has a difficult couple of pins to get. And just about a straight ball at that one.
Very accurate bowler, Tom Kury.
Yes, he bowled that one at 100 miles an hour to make sure he didn't hook the ball away from that second pin, and he got it. And Powell now faced with this nasty little 310 conversion.
Yes, it requires pinpoint accuracy. That looks like it. No.
Oh, he's just missed it. He's opened the door.
Came in too full on the 3 pin, the front pin. Didn't deflect it enough into the 10 pin.
And Tom Kury now. He's represented a number of states in 10-pin bowling. He's living up in Queensland now, but a former sand groper and a much improved bowler since he moved east.
Yes, he's bowling with a burning ambition this year. He wants to be regarded as the bowler of the year, and he's practically done that already.
And that's something we don't see Tom Kury to do too often, and that is cross over the head pin. He's not happy with himself on that.
Yes, I mentioned balance before. Tom's balance isn't good for such a high caliber bowler, but his accuracy certainly doesn't suffer. There's always an exception to every bowling rule.
And there's a nice ball from Ron Powell after that open third frame, a strike in the fourth. And it looked an ominous one too.
Yes, he's been good on that odd lane, Steve, but the even lane's been giving Ronnie Powell a bit of trouble.
Yes, he had a 190 game to beat Kevin Richardson in the semi-final, but it certainly was not a game to write home about. No open frames, but only 2 strikes in it. See if
he knows he'll need more than 190 to beat a man of Tom Kury's class.
Well, he's had 2 strikes out of 4 shots already, so anything from now is a plus. And that looks good. Yes, it's a strike.
And
he liked it.
it.
Yes, he did like that one.
Now we've got a match, the grand final match. A lot at stake.
Well, we had an exciting women's final in the last match when Jenny Burton beat Cheryl Munson by 10 pins, and this one shaping up just the same way. With Powell's double there, he's only about 10 or 9 pins behind Tom Kury. 5th frame for Tom Kury, and that one's out the window. Ooh, nasty. And the washout. Let's have a look what happened to the ball. And there it just slides past the head pin, didn't touch it at all, and he's left himself at 1, 2, 10. Let's see how he goes for it.
Very difficult shot. Has to put the 1 pin right across over to the 10 pin.
Yes, he's taking plenty of time lining up too.
He's got the accuracy to do it.
There's a chance. Oh, bad luck for Tom Kury.
You can't believe it.
And he's not pleased with that. Not pleased at all. But he's good enough to come back.
That's a sign how difficult this game can be. You put the ball where it has to go and still the pins stay. It might give Ron Powell a little bit of heart. He's on the lane he likes. Got 2 strikes working. Looking for a third.
This. Oh, yes! Let's have a look at that. Watch this one. Rip. Oh, Kury, let's see how good he is under pressure now.
These champions, they always like to rub it in when the opponent makes a mistake.
Looks okay. Oh, what a comeback. That's the best ball we've seen in this whole series so far. Let's take a look at it. Crash. There they go, into the pit. Well, Powell now, the leader, and could be a leader by as many as 15 pins if he can put a head on this turkey that he's got working. He took a long time lining up then. And it didn't come up.
Didn't get through it cleanly. Wasn't directly behind the ball and lost his line. Puts the chance back to Tom. He'll be looking for another strike. These 2 bowlers, teammates in the Australian team in Caracas, Venezuela last year, both performed very well for Australia.
Well, 13 pins the difference now. Kury can catch up a little bit of it with a strike now. Oh, he needed that pin to kick out, but it didn't.
Bad luck. Got
Yes,
the pins to carry, but didn't carry them all.
Yes, I think it was a little bit of bad luck because he usually rips the 5 pin into the 7, but he left it that time, and we're back with Powell now going for the sleeper spare. 2 pins directly in front of each other. 22 inches between those 2 pins. You see a lot of new bowlers hit the front pin there and then they miss the back one and they wonder what happened. Well, of course, the ball bounces off in that 22-inch distance, and that's why they missed the back pin. But Powell executed it perfectly, and so did Kury with his spare. 13 pins the difference in the 6th frame. 126 this man Powell and 113 for his opponent. Only 5 maximum strikes to go. Quiet here at Woden Bowl. Look at it rock. It's not going to go. I don't believe that.
Ron doesn't believe it either. Look at his face.
Have a look at him.
10th frame.
Well, Kury's got to get a strike now. He puts the
8
pressure
pins
on with it.
behind.
This one's got to be a full count for Ron's opponent, and it's not. Only 9. He might have let it away. Powell taking stock of the situation, yes.
A strike will win him the game, the match, and the cruise. Taking all the time in the world.
Needed a strike, and he hasn't got it, but it's a pretty safe bet now that Ron Powell's going to win his 2nd P&O Invitational. This has been a tense game, not too much noise from the spectators here at Woden, and Tom knows he's let this one get away, perhaps. We could possibly trace it back to that 5th frame when he left a washout. It was a bad first ball, but he had a good try at that spare and sent that head pin around the back of the 10 pin.
Ron Powell needs the spare for the win.
Got to get the spare. He's
No
got it.
problems.
Yes. He's still got to stay behind the foul line on the spare shot. We haven't seen any bowlers foul yet, but it's not to say that it wouldn't happen. Only 8 for Tom Kury. 190. Powell has 190 at the moment. He has to keep the ball on the lane, keep his feet behind the foul line, and he's won himself a P&O cruise, cash and a trophy, total value of $5,000.
Ron likes to go out with a win with a knee slide. Well, let's see what he'll do here. There he goes.
Yeah. It's a little bit, but it's enough. 8-pin count. 198 beats 190. And Ron Powell of Victoria, the winner of the P&O Invitational TV series for the second time in 3 years. Congratulations to Ron Powell. And the presentation of the men's trophies now, and I have great pleasure in giving this trophy to Ron Powell for the second time in 3 years. Congratulations, Ron. Well, that was a pretty tense situation, a 198 to 190, 8 pins against a man of Tom Kury's calibre. You opened the third frame and then you came back with 3 strikes. They were good.
Well, I knew I had to because Tom is such an aggressive bowler that to give him a break is a no-no, really. And I knew I had to come back with something to have a chance.
Well, you've been teammates in the past and you had to turn the tables on him today, and he had a very unfortunate error in the 5th frame when he sent that pin around the back. That was a good break for you, though.
Tom was very unlucky because it was a good shot, and it made the difference because as the score was finished, he would have won the game if he had have knocked that 10-pin over.
Yes, that's right. And then you left yourself wide open in the 9th frame when you left that picket fence. I thought you were in trouble then.
Right, I knew I had to spare it because I didn't want to give him, as I said, a look-in because he's such an aggressive bowler.
Well, that's a terrific performance today, Ron, and to present your major prizes to you now, we have Mark Gray, the promotions executive of P&O Cruises. Mark?
Thank you.
Ron, on behalf of the sponsors, we'd just like to say congratulations on winning.
Thank you.
And I'd like to present you with, first of all, your cruise tickets for 2 people on board the SS Canberra. I believe it's the second cruise you'll be going on, and also $500 spending money.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you, P&O Cruises. Thank you. And AMF. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Ron. And we've enjoyed bringing you Australia's best bowlers, and we look forward to seeing you on the lanes. Goodbye.